Hi, I'm Joshua Martin, and this month's PropertyIntel Power Up, we're going back to the basics and taking a look at how to do PDF takeoffs within PropertyIntel. PDF takeoffs are a critical part of the estimating workflow for construction, installation, or design build takeoffs, and you can easily do those within PropertyIntel by uploading the PDF as your background and use it instead of an aerial map. To get started, you would click New Project in the top right corner. Give your project a name, and then you can choose a template to work off of, or for PDF takeoff, you could upload a file here to start with just the background and no material list. I'm going to use this template here that we have default in the system for a commercial construction bid. To upload a PDF, I would click Browse Files, where you can drag and drop the files in here, but you're going to choose a PDF that you have saved to your computer, and you'll begin to upload it. If you have a multi-page PDF, this step is critical because you can simply choose the pages that you want to upload in the system rather than the whole file or document if you don't need it. So a common example of this is you have a full construction set from an architect or an engineer that includes the electrical, plumbing, HVAC, all those other types of plans, but you may only simply need the landscape plans or the landscape and irrigation plans. And so by checking this box, that's going to choose the pages that you want to upload. So you can uncheck any of the pages that you don't want to upload. If you need to verify it is the correct page, simply click on the thumbnail and it'll give you an expanded view of each page. When you're happy and ready, you can click Create Project to finish uploading that PDF and creating the project. Now, the next step when doing a PDF takeoff is to set the scale. This is different than if you were working off of map background, because map backgrounds, we already have the scale set and sent over to us from our imagery providers. But with PDFs, we don't know that. And so we recommend setting the scale so that your measurements are accurate on every page of the project. To set a scale, you would choose Set Scale here at the top. You can enter the scale here, which would simply be like 1 inch equals 20 feet if you've known it. But also, you can measure the scale. So generally, we recommend to measure the scale because it's going to calibrate it for you based off of that page. And this is important because often within this, you may get a reduced size version of a plan. For example, the original plan may be something that needed to be a 24 by 36 when it was printed off, but in order to save space, an architect may have exported out a reduced size version of something like 8.5 by 11 and distributed it that way. And so in order for your measurements to be accurate, you want to calibrate the scale. So you would click Measure, and then you take a known measurement such as this guide here, click on one end, you click on the other, and then you tell it how many feet that is or what that is in real life. So 13.98 feet, and I would click Save. And now my scale is set and I'm ready to produce accurate measurements. So if I want to get started measuring the sod, I can click and activate it just like I would doing a normal takeoff if I were on any other type of background, such as a matte background, and I can work around this area, clicking and measuring it. If I want to do curve points, this is a curved bed, I can hit a C to toggle on my smooth curves and just continue tracing around this, and the curves are nice and smooth behind me. When I'm done, I can simply double click and to finish that measurement. Counting is the same way. I want to choose a material over here on the left to be counting. If you needed to add material, you can click the plus arrow to add new items, new groups, but you can also add an item directly to a group with this area. So if you wanted to do something like adding in the Emerald Arborvitae directly from your catalog, that's where you would add a new item. I'm going to choose one of these that I already have. You can see how I can click to count, and it would count each shrub. So with a construction takeoff, you would just work through your PDF, doing just as I've done here, counting and verifying all of your plant counts, measuring your sod, your bed areas, all the sort of things that you need to accurately price the job. When you're done, if you're an Aspire user, you can simply sync over all those quantities within an Aspire estimate for instantly pricing and estimating that job. And if you're a PropertyIntel user, you could create a proposal, being able to export this out, or not export it out, but enter into our proposal builder and to be able to finalize an estimate to create a proposal for the landscape bid. So now that we've seen kind of just the general idea of how to do these takeoffs, I want to look at a couple of different tips as it pertains to working with PDFs and doing a construction takeoff. Now, the first one is a tool that we have called custom quantities. So custom quantities are a useful tool for a situation that's common within the landscape industry for estimating a project. Oftentimes, with these labels, a quantity would be specified for the individual shrubs on each section of the page. And so sometimes estimators, in order to save time and rather than counting each individual shrub, they'll work off of the labels. And so custom quantities allows you to do that. I can toggle on custom quantities, simply click one time, and then I can specify how many this is. So I can specify 10. And so now this indicates this is 10 shrubs. So rather than having to individually count each one, it works off of this. You can see that it has placed 10 quantities. So custom quantities is a quick way to be able to work through a construction plan and be able to do a fast takeoff that way. An additional tip as it relates to handling revisions and addendums that come out within landscape bids is using copy and paste to create revisions and to revise the takeoff. And so what I mean by this is oftentimes within the bidding process, an architect, after you've already done the takeoff, they may issue a change, an addendum to the plan, send you a new set of drawings, and now you've got to do your takeoff all over again. With PropertyIntel, though, you can leverage our copy and paste to be able to quickly take the measurements from one page and add them to the next and be able to quickly spot and identify changes that may exist. So to do this, you would add in the new drawing. So I can click this plus in the bottom left, start from file. It's the same upload process as before. I'm just going to choose the exact same plan for demo purposes, and we're going to add it into our drawing. And so you can see here, this page is added in. I can click over to it. We would do the exact same thing in setting the scale on this page. Again, calibrating, making sure that our scale is correct. And then come back to my original drawing. So in order to do the copy and paste, I would do Control A. Control A is going to select all the drawings that are on the page. Next, I can hit Control C. Control C is going to copy each one of those drawings. Then I can head over to my other page. And now I can center up and I can paste it. So when you hit Control V, it's going to paste it on the center point of the mouse. So Control V, as in Victor, will paste all those drawings on this page. And I can simply, while they're selected, I can move them around to line it up to make sure everything is correct. And then you can see how doing this, if this plan were changed in some way, how I could quickly spot the changes that may exist on this page. Now, the last thing I want to show you relates to just handling PDFs themselves. So I'm going to head out to my setting or my index area, my main page, and show you a setting that you can control down here with your initials. So if I click my name where I would log in and log out and click the settings, a setting exists within here called increase PDF quality. So by default for all users, this is off, and this is off for performance reasons, just to make uploading and rendering PDFs a little bit faster for your machine. But oftentimes you may need a higher resolution version of that PDF to see the finer details that may exist, especially like I had mentioned earlier, where if you've got a reduced size version of the PDF. So if this is the case, you can simply toggle on this setting. And for most users, it's probably going to be okay to toggle it on. It does require a little bit more memory from your computer and also your browser. It's working. So if you do have an older computer or one that is a little bit over resourced, you may find a little bit of a performance degradation in working with PDFs. But generally, for most computers, if you're well up to date and managing your storage, this works out well. And so again, you can toggle this on, and it's going to give you the highest resolution that we're doing within the system for being able to really zoom in on a PDF and not really experience a whole lot or really any buffering or any kind of loss in the visual of the PDF. So that's it. Hope you enjoyed watching. If you have any questions, please reach out, and thanks for watching.